All right, episode 3, we're here again. Now let's get into this one. I'm excited to talk about this one. So this week we had Notorious B.I.G. song, I Got a Story to Tell. Now if you haven't heard this one before, I suggest you go listen to it because it has a lot to do with this episode. Every time I say it, I can just hear the song in my head. It just starts playing. I love this song. So let's get into this episode. Now, is it me or are we repeating the same type of storyline? Well, we got the police in every episode and got detectives and stuff. But I mean, it's fine. It's working. It's working. But still, I kind of seem like this is going on in every episode. So we kick off this episode with a familiar face. Little Claire from My Wife and Kids. She is actually tied up on the floor in her bedroom getting robbed. Well, turns out she's getting robbed by none other than Woody McClain. Now, in this episode, y'all, Woody was looking good. I mean, he looked like, not a snack, he was looking like the whole entire meal. Baby was looking good. Okay, so, anyways, let's move on. Now, if y'all don't know, Claire's name is Jennifer Freeman in real life, and her name was Ashley on this episode, but I'm probably going to call her Claire because that's just how I know her, as Claire, okay? So I'm like, okay, Claire, where's Katie at? Where's Tony and all of them? Anyways, so we started this episode and she's getting robbed by Woody, whose name is Slim in this episode. So she's getting robbed, and then all of a sudden her little basketball playing boyfriend or fiance, whatever he is, he walks in. Well, when he walks in, Slim turns the gun on him, tells him to get on the floor, takes the money, and he ends up leaving. So we start off this episode wondering like what's going on, why is he robbing them, and we kind of get to know what's going on the more the episode goes on. So Elise Neal is playing the detective in this episode, so she comes in and she's investigating everything. She takes in the house, looking around and seeing what's going on, and she begins to interview Claire, or Ashley, and her boyfriend, fiance, Isaiah Whitlock. So when she starts this off, she starts just wondering like what's going on, but you could tell the whole time that she wasn't really feeling either one of them and that she knew something fishy was going on. So Slim is back over at the trap house with his boys or whatever, just going on with business as usual. One of his boys is DC Young Fly. I know y'all probably know him from online and on Wild 'N Out. Dude is hilarious, and he was funny in this episode too. So while Elise Neal is doing all these interviews, we find out that Isaiah Whitlock was actually cheating on his girlfriend. Man, so shocked at that one. You know, the basketball player that cheats? Who would have ever thought of it? So, the other thing about it is little Claire is actually really hurt by all of this. So, she's taking the news bad. You've seen her flashback. She's, yelling at Isaiah, talking about why you doing this, why you disrespecting me, which, I mean, she should be mad, but you dating a basketball player that you really think is about to happen. You thought he was about to be faithful? But they, of course, didn't tell the detective about his infidelities or all the drama that was really going on with them. So, Elise Neal, she knows something ain't right. So she wasn't feeling his story. She wasn't feeling her story. She just knew in the back of her mind something wasn't right about any of this. We go on, and Claire she's in the bathtub, she's relaxing, and well, she starts to have a flashback about the night before of the robbery. Well, it turns out her and her girls, decided to go out. Her girls was trying to cheer her up. They was going to take her on a little outing or whatever. So she's having a flashback to the night before. They decide to go to a comedy club. Well, while they're at this comedy club, they pull up, in their little car, whatever, looking cute or whatever. Well, then Slim and his boys pull up in the little Mercedes and everything. They get out looking good, and they all trying to go into this comedy club. Well, when they go into the comedy club, which is owned by Little Duval, he's over all of it or whatever. So he lets Slim and his boys in first, and of course she was like, "Ain't we VIP? Why did they get in before us?" So of course that kind of sparked a little conversation or interest with her and Slim. So there were a lot of guest appearances too, a lot of cameos in this one. JD was in the house, B. Cox, Irv Gotti made his own little appearance in the show too. Well, the comedian gets up there, he's shouting them out. Then he starts telling jokes. Well, he starts getting on Ashley, or Claire, whatever you want to call her. And he starts getting kind of disrespectful, like a comedian does. So Slim has to step in, and then he just steps in and he's like, "Move on." And he said, move on. I said, okay, I will move on then. I got you. Okay. So he stepped in, saving her, whatever. So of course she takes a liking to it. So then they start flirting or whatever, and then he's like, yeah, let's get out of here. So this girl probably didn't know him for like 2 hours, and she already leaving with him, going wherever they was going. So they end up at a restaurant or whatever, and she, she get right to the point. She know what she want, and they end up back at her house. So she brought him back to her house, her big, huge house, and she also flaunting this big old $1 million ring that's on her finger the whole time. So she invites him in the house. So of course, you know what's about to happen. They about to have, And I was a little upset when I watched this scene because, it hurt me. It did. Because I was like, how you gonna be with her? But it's cool. But yeah, so, she knew him for like 2 hours and slept with him or whatever. So now we're in present time, and Elise is like, I know something ain't right. Something about this story just isn't right. So she goes to the house to meet up with Claire. So when she gets there with Claire, she was like, just tell me the truth. Tell me what really happened. Tell me what really happened. So Claire tells her the truth. What really happened is, after they finished sleeping together, her fiance was coming in. So they had to fake something so he could get out of there. And so the boyfriend would know she wasn't cheating. So turns out, Slim, he like tied her up and everything, made it look real nice, real good, act like he was robbing her. And when the boyfriend came in, like at the beginning, made him get on the ground and made it seem really realistic. The whole thing was staged. It wasn't a robbery. He was just trying to save her again, which of course she thought, okay, he really wanted her and he was really caring about her and everything after knowing her for 2 hours. So the whole time Claire is telling Elise about this whole fake robbery story, her man is standing in the background. He hears the whole thing. Well, instead of getting mad, I guess he felt like she could do whatever because he cheated. So he forgives her, and then they both tell her, we're not about to press charges, so don't even try it, leave him alone, whatever. And then I guess they move on with their life. But this is where I feel like Slim won and played everybody. Not only did he get Claire, or Ashley, whatever her name is, he got the man's stash of money, and he got that big old rock that was on her finger. So who won in this situation? I think he did. So now he's got a story to tell. So that was the end of the episode, and then BET hits us with, it'll return in October. And I'm like, what? How y'all gonna get me hooked on this show and then tell me it's not coming back till October? I don't know why, but whatever. I guess we're gonna have to wait till October for another review. But this one is here now, so I want you guys to tell me what you thought about it. Tell me what you thought about the episode, about the video, anything. Sound off in the comments and let me know. Like this video and subscribe to my page. Until our next video, I'll see you later.